Oh, yeah. Welcome in, world, to your favorite show, Views from the Stands. I am your host, Stevie B, Steve Brennan, and I, of course, got my two partners with me. We got the GM, George Mike, and Brandon BC. We have been waiting a long time to say this, but we are live. How you boys feeling tonight?
Live, baby. We live. We worldwide. Pitbull, stop. Dale.
There we go. How you boys feeling tonight, man? This is a great opportunity for us, man.
Yo, to quote the former great Devin White, we about to get live on the trail ride. Let's do it.
Ooh, okay. Bringing out the old quote with Devin White. Look at this guy. Yeah. He's not even on your team no more, bro.
Hey, I'm okay. The dude knew how to get hyped. What can I say?
Facts.
Brandon's always secretly rapping. Isn't that kind of random? The most unrappable dude is always one rapping down there, man.
Hey. There's much more milquetoast out there than me, so come on.
Well, anyways, we truly appreciate all the support you guys have given us, and we have a lot going on. As always, if you could please like, subscribe, and follow us. We're pretty much everywhere you guys are on the socials. We got TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Spotify, we're even on Twitch. Clicking the bells makes it a lot easier to let you know whenever we're going live. Our plan is to start doing this a little bit more often, maybe 2 times a week. We're still sticking with at least the one, so maybe we might get a little bit more for the 2 times a week. So be on the lookout for that. Man, we have a lot to get ready for this episode. We have way too early Super Bowl picks and NFL awards. We have a rapid fire installment of Brandon's bullpen. We have a very special Views from the Stands top 5. It's going to be walkout entrances or walk-up songs for baseball. So I think that's going to get a lot of fun. And of course, any news from around the world of sports. So as always, as a newly feature on here, you're able to comment and let us know where you're checking in from, where you're watching live from. So we're really looking forward to that. But before we get into that, we got to give us a little bit of self-promotion in here. So G Mike, why don't you go ahead and let the people know how we're doing this, man?
Yes, sir, guys. You already know I run a Telegram channel where we put up sports gambling slips every single day. We charge $5 a month, but we could get you winnings from $10 to $50 to $100 a day. Right now, we got college football about to get kicked off and going. It's week 0. We got NFL preseason coming to an end. NFL regular season right around the corner. So you guys already know. You guys want to sign up. You won't see the link right now on the live show, but you'll see it on the recording on your screen. Or if not, just hit me up on one of my socials, DM me, and we'll get you going.
Oh, I love that, man. Who doesn't love an extra little money in their pocket, man? We also got a great company, Brandes Media. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and let the people know what you got?
I mean, hey, rapid fire right here at Brandes.media. We make memories that last a lifetime. We caught all of your wedding photography and videography needs, as well as, hey, if you got an engagement that needs to get done, or, hey, somebody you know is getting that engagement, they're getting that big day. My wife and I, Desi, we've been running this small business now for a little over a year. It's been fantastic and to meet all these different people that, are trying to make these incredible moments, incredible memories, and that's what we do at Brandes.media. Hit us up for our portfolios. Again, it's at Brandes.media for more info.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Who doesn't love a little love in the air, a little bit of weddings going on, man? Bro, this ain't a wedding show. This is about a show about sports. And, man, we had some wild stuff happen last night. Had some. Go ahead. What you got, G Mike?
I was going to say, I thought it was a wedding show.
No, that's the other podcast. That's the other podcast we're doing.
Hallmark Channel, man. Don't you know?
Man, we had a wild night last night. We had week 0 of the college football season kickoff, and some big news happened out there. Let's see what we got going on out there, man. We had the Florida State Seminoles taking on Georgia Tech. And it's not often I get to say this, and it brings me so much joy, but Florida State went down. Man, it was a wild game out there, man. There was the inaugural game they used to be playing in Dublin, Ireland, and Florida State and Georgia Tech had a great game. I do not think that Florida State expected Georgia Tech to be in it as much, but man, they ended up being a 24-21 game on a 44-yard field goal with time expiring. Woo! What a game it was. So we all know the college football season has changed up a little bit with the 12 team going on. BC, this can't be a great start for Florida State going down in an in-state, going down in an in-conference game already to start the season. That's got to be rough, uphill battle for him, man. What's your thoughts on that?
No, as rough as you can get. And again, not only was like the start of this year rough, but also last year too, like getting blown out as they did against Georgia. And then, you start off the year losing to Georgia Tech like they did in heartbreaking fashion. It's not how you want to rebound after a rough season if you're Florida State. So, it sucks, but this is what happens. Is the magic of college football, or a curse for some other teams. Especially that week 1 matchup. You underestimate your opponent, you get lulled into a false sense of security, and that's what happened with FSU up against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I believe it, man. And G-Mike, one of the biggest strengths of Florida State this year was supposed to be that defense. And looking at the stats sheet here, they didn't even get a damn sack, man. What's up with the defense?
Cocky, bro. Cocky. And if you guys don't know what that means, it's shit. Freaking crap. Boys came out, looked like they didn't even want to play football. I don't know if it was a jet lag. I don't know what it was, but they didn't look like they wanted to play. That first drive, when their offensive drive, they looked pretty good. It was like, all right, cool. FSU, everybody's predicting they're going to win. 90% of the bets were on FSU to win this game. And it's just like after that first drive, it was like Georgia Tech was like, yo, it don't matter how hard you hit, I'm going to hit harder than you. And that's exactly what they did. And then when it came to the defense for FSU, it looked like they didn't even want to play out there. It looked like they were playing in a scrimmage game against their own offense and not trying to tackle, not trying to hurt their players. So it was whack. You think that FSU, a top 10 ranked team in college football to start the new season, is going to dominate a team that is not even ranked, even though Georgia Tech, they're always giving people problems. But still, FSU,
the last 3 years they've done this. They've always knocked somebody off.
Yeah. And last year, everybody was talking about how FSU was so undefeated and they should have had a chance to go to the national championship game and yada, yada, yada. But then you come out the first game of the next season and you can't even show up with your defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the problem is as well, like you lost up front two of your main starters in Fiske and Verse into the NFL draft. So that's going to be a big problem for you. But again, Georgia Tech, we're used to seeing this from them. That triple option offense is just something that's so unique, so tough to kind of contain. And again, especially if you're FSU, you're missing two of your top performers from last year. It's going to be a challenge. But like George said, you gotta for all the stuff about last year, you can't keep leaning on that. You wanted to make a statement this year that this was y'all's chance to make up for it, and you blew it right out the gate.
Yeah, 100%, man. Mike Norvell is going to have a tough year this year, really. Yeah, he had an amazing player in Jordan Travis last year, and that FSU offense was just humming. And then comes DJ Ungalulele, which tried that one a few times, which is a bigger size quarterback than Jordan Travis was. He comes in at 6'4", 252 pounds, and he's been a starter since 2020. And the guy threw for 193 yards against Georgia Tech. This isn't going to be a great season for them if they can't get this offense rolling here. He had 0 TDs, no picks, but that's not the way you want to start, especially after the way Florida State ended end of the year. Granted, most of the players, like we were saying before, did go to the NFL. But yeah, that's just not a good start. And you would think that DJ should have been a little bit more poised considering he's been playing for this long.
Exactly. And DJ, the fact that DJ ran 6 times and only got 7 yards, what is that, like 0.3 yards a carry? I don't even know what the math is there. But it's like, dude, he's like 6'4", 6'5", 250 plus pounds. Like, dude, you should be running over players, bro. Running over them. And you're out there running the ball. Like, if you're JV playing against varsity, you're a freshman playing against a senior. Like, terrible.
With his, he should be dominating opponents like MVP Cam Newton. But in that game, he played like Super Bowl Cam Newton pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely not a great start for them as all, and they obviously got the loss. And it's going to be interesting whenever they call I believe it's September 3rd, the new polls will come out. So we'll see how far they're going to drop. They did extend the college football playoff this year, obviously to 12 teams. But that's going to be a hell of a battle for them to have to, come up from if they start off the season already 0-1 in the conference. It's definitely not how you want to start off, man.
Embarrassing.
Real quick, just in case you guys can't see me reply on the comments, I see a comment here from Hunter Stewart saying, Steve, what's the name on Twitch? So my Twitch is at @GMikeMedia_. That's where you'll find the Twitch until Steve makes his own,
Yeah, I definitely do not have one. I'll leave that to G Mike down there. You're the master, you're the Twitch master, bro. Anyways, man, so we're going to go ahead and jump from the gridiron and get into a little bit of baseball with our guy, Brandon BC, man. He's going to do his segment of Brandon's bullpen, buddy. Why don't you go ahead and let the people know what you got going on for the day?
I mean, what is this, like round 3 of the bullpen? We're going to keep it short and sweet. Just in the world of baseball right now, we got, for those of you that are a little bit older like the rest of us, I got to start putting myself in that old man category now since I'm over 30. But for anybody that remembers the called shot by Babe Ruth, the famous point to the wall there, that famous pose that's synonymous with baseball greatness, the very jersey that the Babe wore in that image just got sold for a record $24 million.
Sheesh.
That is just, I mean, great for who was selling it, but man, whoever bought it, like, my gosh, like what kind of money you got to spend to be blowing on that? But it's great to see like people keep saying like baseball is kind of dying as America's pastime. Football is kind of taken up, all these different things. But it is nice to kind of see baseball still kind of get that historical nudge right there, and to still show like, hey, there's history behind this sport, and it still does have a lot of value to bring for sure.
24 million for a worn jersey, man. That's just gross. And let's face it, Babe Ruth wasn't the most in shape. He was kind of, not the most in shape guy out there. So that jersey probably isn't the best. It was game worn too.
They still got the sweat stains and the hot dog water just all over it, and the beer.
Hints of whiskey and cigarettes, bro.
Beer water, hot dog water, water. It don't matter. That thing is smelly, but it don't matter. They're paying $24 million for it.
Yeah, that's the diet of champions right there, man. Back in the day, so. A little bit of some historical news for baseball, but to stick to more current events, today the Little League World Series just wrapped up, and funny enough, we had Florida, or rather Lake Mary, the Lake Mary Little League Baseball from Florida represent. Sunshine State took on Taiwan in the Little League World Series championship, and they ended up coming back in epic fashion, winning 2-1. So just a shout out right there to Lake Mary, representing the Sunshine State, representing the United States on the world stage. Congratulations to everybody on that roster. It's just great to see baseball again, just getting some love, getting some recognition. These kids getting that shine that they definitely deserve.
Yeah, Lake Mary, baby, right down the road. Let's go, baby, Florida boys.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Lake Mary out there, man. They're also their head coach was a UCF grad. He's actually just got into the UCF Hall of Fame last season as well. So that's a big shout out to them out there. So really cool to see them. They were almost there last year as well. They got beat. And one of the last few games, they didn't get a chance to make it all this far. So a bit of a redemption tour for these kids. And it's the Little League World Series is one of the most fun sports to watch. They're just pure joy out there. And they're always just like they're having fun out there. So anytime you get the chance to watch Little League World Series especially, it's just a blast out there, man. So totally agree. Shout out to them out there.
Yep. And I mean, that though, man, that pretty much just wraps up the bullpen. Like we said, man, we're going to keep it rapid fire. We'll come at you guys next week with some more updates from the big leagues. And, we'll see how the playoff races are shaping up. The Rays are looking pretty good. Won the last few of their games against the Dodgers and the Athletics. So, the playoffs, a lot of teams that seem like they're out of the playoffs, it's not quite done yet, but we're going to see what the next week holds for sure. And we'll get back to you guys in the bullpen next week. So there we go.
Yes, sir. Playoffs right around the corner. Before we move on to the next topic, comment here from Hunter Stewart again. DJ is the transfer portal king. Mike Norvels, if I said that right. Offense is set up for you to pass first, run second. He's just not a mobile guy. Rough start for FSU. No, definitely he's not a mobile guy. But look, if you're talking about his throwing completions, he went 19 for 27, which is great. But you only had 193 yards. So I would say most of those completions, maybe 11 of them or 12 of them, were probably slants, comebacks, curls, dump offs. So it's like, if you're going to be passing the ball most of the time, bro, you got to take some long shots down the field. Like, that's how you're going to win against these top-ranked teams. Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, the list just goes on. And if you're running the ball 6 times and only get 7 yards, 6'4", 6'5" frame, 250-plus pounds, like, come on, man. You need to get more yards than that.
Yep.
Come on.
Got to use the natural tools and the gifts that have been given to you. So, again, just because you're not the most fleet-footed quarterback. Patrick Mahomes isn't the most mobile guy either, but yet he's kind of a big dude, but he still knows how to use his body and make the most out of it. So,
yeah, for sure. It's going to be definitely an interesting season for, like we were saying, for Florida State too. There's going to be a little bit of transition. I just would expect more out of DJ, just considering the amount of college football the guy's played. He's been at Clemson for years, went at Oregon State, and now is at Florida State. So I just would expect a little bit more from him, especially against a lesser opponent in Georgia Tech. It's no disrespect to Georgia Tech, but let's face it, Florida State.
No. Georgia Tech is trash, dude. They're trash.
I mean,
Miami beats them. UM beats them. How does the FSU not beat them? And we weren't even ranked the last year. We didn't even get close. I don't even think we went to the bowl game. Correct me if I'm wrong, people out there, but I don't even think we got to a bowl game. And we still beat GT. Like,
yep. You want Miami?
Yes, I'm talking about Miami.
Florida State definitely.
Like, come on, dude. Now it just makes me believe that Miami's going to beat Florida State this year, and they play in Miami this year. It might be out there.
Well, I can tell you who Miami's not going to beat, and that's next week. Again, it's not going to beat Florida, so we'll get onto that one next week, though.
Boy, and not just Florida, but when they come to Raymond James to play USF, it ain't gonna happen either. So horns up.
Get out of here, USF.
We coming. This is our season.
It ain't the Bulls no more. They changed it to the Cavs.
Man.
Only on Views from the Stands do you get some USF shout out. There's no other place. I guarantee no other podcast is actually saying the words US and F, and they're in the same sentence.
Mad respect for Brandon because he's loyal to his teams. He's loyal to his team.
I mean, hey, I have to be, man. I'm employed by him, better or worse.
There we go.
You know, I don't even think you could be talking about your teams on live camera. I don't know how that works, but
hey, you gotta figure out the proper ways to get your opinion out there, but sounding also the most professional as well. So I like that. It's a fine line I walk, but somebody's got to do it.
Hire my guy. Hire me.
All right. Well, hey, if you guys are new to the show, for Views in the Stands, we like to try and do as many debates and fun as we can on here. And so I'm pretty excited about this debate. We've been doing for the last few weeks, we've been doing a top 5 where we go from 5 down to 1 of a certain subject, in which we're always welcome for anybody out there that has ideas on what they would like for us to go with next. This one is definitely a crowd participation. If anybody's out there, we got plenty of room in the chat down here. We actually can put you up on the screen. We're going to go over our top 5 from 5 to 1 walkout slash entrance music from us if we were the athlete ourselves. So we're going to have Mr. BC be bold enough to give us his number 5 walk-up theme music. Pretty much like every superhero needs a theme song. This is going to be Brandon's.
Before I begin, just got to say this is a very tough list to choose from. Like so many great songs to pick, but I honestly just had to kind of dwindle it down to songs that I think would be great if I was playing baseball and if I was either walking to the plate or if I was coming in to pitch. So at number 5, it's a bit of an unknown, but it's one that I kind of came across by playing MLB 21, the show. I really fell in love with the song, La Fiesta by Funky. It's a banger, got a little bit of some Hispanic vibes, rhythm and flow in there. And I just really like the way it moves, it grooves. And again, it's on a baseball video game. So you got to know, like, it's got to be some good walk-up music. So
not a bad start. All right, G Mike, you're next. What you got?
All right. So there's too many songs for me to pick out of, man. Like especially when it comes to hip hop and reggaeton también and all that. But I just went through my workout playlist and I got the 5 top songs that I think I would use. So I would say at number 5 right now it would be "Throw It Up" by Little John and the East Side Boys. If you guys know that song, that gets you hyped, baby. Because you're gonna do leg day, put that song on first. Start with squat, baby.
Oh yeah. That brings back the high school days, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh God, yeah, man. I remember just leaving high school in a crappy Mustang I had, and just have 2 12s in the back there, just cranking it and blowing it out. That was good time.
Damn, you were in high school. I was like 6th grade. I was walking around, going to the ice cream trunk, with like my pants saggy, acting like a little G. You know what I'm saying?
Little G Mike.
With the old school iPod, the big one that was like a brick.
Oh, yeah.
Swear to God, you could store like 20,000 songs in it.
Nope. You guys were you guys LimeWire or FrostWire? Like you guys use any of those?
Both.
LimeWire all day. What's this? So you were saying, what's this iPad thing you speak of? I was so used to using a Walkman. Like what's this iPad thing you speak of? Oh, you mean the MP3 player that just came out whenever I was in high school?
I had an MP3 player. Samsung has some good MP3 players, man. They have some good, and then the iPod came out and it just shitted on everybody.
Changed the game.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to the blonde tips days, man. I just have the frosted tips. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh no!
Yeah.
We need to put that picture up on screen.
Oh, nice.
Hey, I mean, on screen. Dog.
It was the times, man. It worked, man.
Depending on
all right, so for my number 5, I'm going to go a little hip hop here. I'm going with DMX. What's my name? Clearly, you'd probably have to edit out the first 15 seconds of the song, but anytime you hear that dog growl or that dog bark, it's going down. Rest in peace, DMX. One of the most underrated hip hop artists of all time. There'll never be another DMX out there, man. So shout out to DMX and what's my name for my number 4. So let's go. BC, you're up. What's your number 4, my man?
All right, man. Again, this is kind of another new one, but I'm a big hard rock, big Skillet fan. Probably my favorite band of all time. Song, it's one of their newer albums, Finish Line. It's got a great build to it, very hard rock sounding, very athletic. If you listen to it, you just want to run through a brick wall. So Finish Line by Skillet's my number 4.
Not bad, not bad. I've actually seen Skillet in concert for a pretty good band, man.
So
G Mike, what you got, bro?
Yo, real quick, how are those rock concerts like? Because I've been to concerts hip hop, I've been to concerts of house, been to concerts of reggaeton, never a rock one. How is that environment? Because I feel like there'll be a lot of mosh pits, people getting hit in the face.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's part of the fun, man. In the words of Jack Black, one good rock show can change your life, change the world. Maybe more people need a little bit more rock and roll in the world. We wouldn't have something so messed up so much, man. Nah, bro, it is the biggest. It is the best energy you'll ever have in your life. There's so much going on. You got the crowd, you got the band, you got the pyro. It is
pyro.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience. And if you've never gotten a chance to go, everybody needs to go to a one good metal show to save your life. I promise you, it's one of the best things you'll ever do.
Hey, shout out to Steve's wife that she's in the comments saying no frosted tips. Yo, put the picture up on the comments so I can put it up on screen. Put it in the comments.
People want to know.
On screen.
No,
that'd be next week. I'll see if I can find something and I'll post it on there. I promise.
My question is, did you guys meet before or after you were done with the frosted tips?
I mean, it was frosted tips for a long time, so it was
that's true love, man. That is true love right there.
Yeah,
it was during.
Yeah. Yeah. So G Mike, you're up number 4, buddy. What you got?
Number 4, I got "Bring 'Em Out" by T.I. Man, that song is like it's at home, bro. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Song was raw, bro. Song was raw.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it, man. I dig it. A little bit of Swiss beats and T.I., man. Can never go wrong with that. All right, so for my number 4, I have at number 4, I got a classic hardcore band, Hatebreed with I Will Be Heard. The song right from the start, when Jamie Josta starts telling you, now is the time for me to rise to my feet and wipe the spit from your face, wipe the tears from your eyes. You know what's going down. If you've ever seen Hatebreed or if you've ever been to a hardcore or any kind of metal concert, you know whenever you hear that sound going down, it is absolutely about to go down. And if you're not a part of it, then you better move out the way.
Damn.
Wow, it's quoting this thing verse.
Yeah, right. He had that. I don't even think he read that off of the teleprompter. I think he had all that in his mind.
Yo,
from experience, man.
Man, he's got like the lyrics.
That was an improv right there.
You know damn well. If once you hear "I Will Be Heard," it's over, man. The crowd's going nuts, man.
He's got the lyrics tramp stamped on the back there. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, BC, you're up next, buddy. What you got?
All right, man. So this is a tough one. Getting into the top 3, it's tricky. But again, another recent one came across. "Open It Up" by Migos. Just the beat. It's a bit of a different vibe from the hard rock, but again, it just gets you focused. It gets you a little bit more loose, actually. Like you kind of loosen up a little bit, kind of bop and weave a little bit to it, get you, focused just kind of in a different way. But "Open It Up" by Migos, my number 3.
All right, a little hip hop action there. All right, G Mike, you're up. What you got?
Damn, I don't think I've ever heard that song, Brandon. You gotta send me.
I gotta
check it out. Check it out.
Have you ever heard that Hatebreed song? I'm sure that's around your playlist, right?
No, definitely haven't heard that at all. But I didn't say anything because I don't want to hear it. I'm talking shit.
Oh man.
Number 3, I got "305 Anthem" by Pitbull. Too bad I had some people from Full Sail. Shout out Full Sail. Steve and I went there. I had some people at Full Sail that didn't even know that Pitbull used to rap. They thought it was just all pop and Spanish and this and that. And it's yo, you listen to the song "305 Anthem" by Pitbull, man. Yo, dude, I'm telling you, that guy goes in bars.
Yeah, actually, Pitbull when he first came out, he actually had some good bars, man. Actually, I like old Pitbull. Actually, he was actually pretty good.
OG Pitbull right there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So for my number 3, and if you haven't catched on to the theme here, it's getting a little heavy. So at number 3, one of my all-time favorite metal bands, if not my favorite metal band, is Parkway Drive. And comes in with a Bottom Feeder. The song goes hard right from the start. It would be a great way to get the crowd pumped up and going. Winston from Parkway Drive, the lead singer, starts off with a primal go, and you know damn well it's about to go down. The drum beat kicks in. My favorite part of the song comes at about the 3:45 mark, where they're screaming out "No mercy, no pain." The chant followed by "You can't escape that. You can't escape. Now snap your neck to this." It's over, bro. If you've never experienced anything like that, you snap your neck and you know it's going down.
Waking up in the morning with a stiff neck.
Hey, if one good show is worth it, man. You'll muscle,
voice.
A little bit of muscle memory never hurt, man. It'll figure itself out, man. All right, BC, you're up. What you got?
All right, so for my number 2, again, it's a tough one the closer you get to the top, but I'm thinking, all right, game on the line, bottom of the 9th. If I'm closer coming in to shut this game down, there's only one song I want coming out on that field, and it's Public Service Announcement by Jay-Z. It's a song of greats, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Come out to it all the time, and what better way to come out there and get yourself in the zone and get those 3 important outs than with PSA.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Your name is G Mike, and you're up next.
Oh,
hey.
Okay. The remix.
Yeah,
like that.
All right.
Blonde tips are coming back.
On YouTube. Yeah, just get the frosted tips and
the frosted tips are coming back out, man.
Oh, I like frosted tips, Steve.
Number 2, I got Never Scared by Bone Crusher. I remember we
classic.
picked that song
That's
for
a good one.
Back in the day, 8th grade flag football game in middle school, and that song was pretty damn good. Had the juices flowing. You know what I'm saying?
See,
yeah, I actually had that. I don't know if you remember these things. There were discs, and you put them in your car. I used to have that on. I used to actually have the CD.
I'm not that young.
Okay. Just making sure here. I
used to walk around with a CD player around my complex, and people try to talk to me. I'm just like,
no, I can't hear you. Yeah, sorry. I'm outside the club, and you think I'm a punk. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm like this.
If we were doing like top 5 like football playlists like for warm up music, that would have been on mine. But I'm thinking baseball strictly. So, but like, dude, that's
okay.
I'm going any kind of sport really, any fighting or anything like that. So
yeah, me too. I just I went off of my workout playlist. So
fair enough.
There you go. All right, so for my number 2, is going to be Pantera's Walk. This song is one of the just a banger of a song. Honestly, it's one of the songs that actually got me into metal. My cousin Richie, that was one of the first heavy metal artists, Pantera, that I ever listened to, and it always takes me back to a happy place. Ironically, I'm one of those crazy people that heavy metal actually makes me calm and actually a little bit more happy. So, and let's just face it, it's just a badass song. As soon as you hear the just ridiculous guitar solo from Dimebag Darrell with a guitar riff, you know it's just gonna be a badass moment. And then it just goes in with Rex on the bass coming in, and then you got the heavy drums from Vinnie Paul. Then Phil's aggressive voice comes on, and it matches the lyrics of the song. It's just an absolute banger of a song, and anybody when that song comes on, you know damn well it's about to go down. Cowboys from Hell was going to be on there as well, but I had to choose one of those one out of the 2, and I just went with Walk by Pantera as my number 2. Respect. Absolutely, you just know that it's going down. So
it's funny enough. Like at the Rays, anytime like we have like a walk or whatever, they play that song like pretty consistently. So
it's just a badass song. There ain't no other way to describe it, man.
I will say there's nothing cooler than like when you're taking a free pass to first base and you just hear walk over on the loudspeakers.
Yeah, exactly. That's got to be awesome, man. All right, it's the big moment of truth here. It's your number 1, man. What you got?
All right. Well, I could not think of any better baseball anthem for myself than Center Field. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going that old school. No, I had a little bait and switch there. I'm going with a classic from my era, Hardball by Bow Wow. For me, just that whole movie, dude, I like it, man. It's a banger. Like I'll listen to it. If I'm like coming up to the plate, I got nothing better than I want to hear coming to the plate than get me in the zone like that, just bumping and grooving. So if I got to pick one baseball walk-up song to go with, ride or die, it's got to be Hardball by Bow Wow.
I'm not going to lie. I did not see that one coming there, but it was a cool song. I did not expect that one coming, though.
It's a banger, man, at least to me. Y'all might disagree. Y'all might come for me in the comments. That's okay. Do it. I don't care. It's my list.
There we go. Exactly. It's all an opinion here. All right, G Mike, you're up, man. Number 1. What you got?
Number 1, I got Bitch, I'm from Dade County by DJ Khaled, just because I got to let the people know I'm from 305, baby, Miami. You know what I'm saying? And it's a banger. It's a banger.
I thought you just was making an announcement. I didn't realize you were talking about the song. Jeez.
You got
I was like, we didn't even ask you where you're from, bro.
Letting people know.
Now watch, you got that one person that listens to it, and they're like, man, I wonder where he's from. So smart. He must
Where
be
did they
from,
make this song?
maybe
Where's
he's
Dade
from-
County?
Is that in New York or Boston?
All right. So we're down to the number ones here, and we definitely got some interesting ones going. Bow Wow, I did not expect to be on there. Mine's going to be a little bit different. Mine is going to be Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. Just again, this is going with the same theme here. It's just a badass song from the creepy calm bells that come out and the intense drum opening from the Rev, and then Sinister Gates and Zachy V all of a sudden come out with their just ridiculous guitar riff that keeps on going. M Shadows comes out with the Nightmare scream, and it's just such an amazing song and such an amazing sound. And any kind of time you can see with pyro or anything like that, it'll get the people on their feet and it'll get everybody in the mood that it's going down. So yeah, that was a fun list. Some interesting ones on there. So if you guys want, just so everybody can recap this, why don't BC, you go first. You'll go give me 5 through 1. Go ahead, buddy.
Yep, just kind of remembering the order again. I got La Fiesta by Funky at my number 5. Got Finish Line by Skill at my number 4. Open It Up by Migos at number 3. 2, Public Service Announcement by Jay-Z. And then wrapping up at number 1 for baseball walk-up songs. Mind you, this is what my mindset going into it. Hardball by Bow Wow. So before y'all roast me in the comments, that's your context. Go roasting on ahead and be wrong. Y'all always are.
All right, G Mike, you're up, brother. What do you got?
My top 5 walk-up songs from my workout playlist. 5, Throw It Up by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Number 4, Bring 'Em Out by T.I. and Swiss Beats. Number 3, 305 Anthem by Pitbull. Number 2, Never Scared by Bone Crusher. And number 1, Bitch I'm from Dade County by DJ Cat.
I like it. All right, so my number 5 through 1, I got DMX, What's My Name? Number 4, Hate Breed, I Will Be Heard. Number 3, Parkway Drive, Bottom Feeder. Number 2, Pantera Walk. And number 1, Avenged Sevenfold, Nightmare. But this is where we need you guys out there. Leave us some comments. We have plenty of room in there for you to do that.
Let us know your top 5 too.
Yeah. Let us know what your top 5 is, and we can maybe debate it. If there's any other ideas you guys want to come on here with, or just let us know about what you guys think would be a fun one to do. We're definitely open for a discussion on that one. So, yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun there. We got some surprises in there. I wasn't expecting some of those, but that's what makes this stuff fun. So we're going to jump back into the NFL, and we're going to make our way too early NFL awards. So we'll start at the top with the MVP. I'll go ahead and start this one off. I'm going to go ahead and pick Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills for the MVP. I think Josh Allen this year is going to have to do a lot for the team. The team is going to need him to be every bit of Superman that he has the capability of being. They've lost their wide receiver core has been a little bit up and down with losing Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. So I really just think that he's going to have to do a lot more than he's been doing, which I hope this doesn't lead to more interceptions for him. But I think Josh Allen has the absolute talent. He has the legs and that amazing cannon for an arm. So my MVP this year is going to be Josh Allen. All right, BC, you're up. What you got?
I mean, for anybody here that's kind of sick and tired of Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs Kingdom, you're probably going to hate on me for this section, but I got to go with Patrick. I think this, the offseason additions they made, especially on the offensive end, getting Xavier Worthy, I think that's going to be a very underrated signing, or rather draft pick. And so I think that just coupled with, I think the motivation he has, not just to win another Super Bowl, but I think also to kind of take his spot back atop, to prove to people for sure, not just that he's the best player in the league today, but also that he's coming for Tom Brady's spot for the greatest of all time. I think that this is going to be a year that he tries to kind of do everything and win the MVP, among other accomplishments as well that we will talk about later on in this show.
That's a safe pick. You can never go wrong with Mahomes on there, man. All right, G-Mike, you're up. What you got, bro?
Yeah, I agree with Brandon and everything he said. I was going to pick Mahomes too. But, you guys know how I feel when it comes to these awards, especially in the NFL. I mean, they always choose a quarterback for the MVP. I feel like they should have their own award and then actually either do it by positions or I don't know, man. But every time it goes to the quarterback. So it's just So if it wouldn't be a quarterback, to me, it would be with all the new rule changes on the kickoff and stuff like that. I think it would be Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to get a lot of targets now with Tua Tagovailoa once again, and Tua got this massive contract. Tyreek got his contract as well. I think he's going to get so many more targets, even though last year he was averaging 10 targets a game. And with now kickoff, I think they're going to put him on kickoff, and he's going to have a chance to return a lot of touchdowns to the crib, especially with how fast he is. So I think it would be dope to give it to another player that's not a quarterback, because obviously the quarterback is always going to get it. They got the ball in their hands every single time.
Yeah. I mean, I will say like that if they do decide to use Tyreek on special teams, which I don't know if they want to risk it. Like, I know that he obviously is a multifaceted player and he used to do special teams all the time, but at his age too, do you really want to risk putting him out there more and getting him hurt? I mean, honestly, if in a vacuum, I think it's a great idea. It's just I don't know if Miami wants to do that because he's such a big part of that offense. But yeah, I think if there is a year where there's not a quarterback that wins it, if you got a guy that's not only contributing on offense but also special teams, that's going to be such a huge factor, I think, and that could be probably a game changer for MVP moving forward.
I just think with politics behind it, I don't think that they'll give MVP to any other position except for quarterback.
This changes.
I think there's a lot more politics involved in the award picking for that.
Honestly,
for MVP.
They should just divvy it up among the position groups and just say this.
They really should, bro. Yes, bro, and give them a bonus. All right, you won quarterback of the year. Boom, give them fucking $500,000, whatever the hell it is.
I mean, that's pretty much like what like all pro is supposed to be. So it's just like I don't know. Like it's like you said, politics suck, and should they really be in sports? Probably not.
Yeah,
politics
I mean,
isn't everything.
Yeah,
it's been going to the quarterbacks obviously for the last few years or something, and then, like you guys were kind of saying too, they should just make it like best QB, and if that's how they want to play, because it's definitely been just going straight to quarterbacks, and they always pretty much believe that's what it is. Now, as far as what you were saying about the special teams part of it, I don't think Tyreek Hill will do kickoffs. But I could see the Dolphins using some of their lightning fast other receivers to do some sort of definitely special kickoff plays. They just got the other rookie they just got, I believe, was it Wright? That guy still runs like a subpar 4.3 or something along those lines. So I could definitely see this coming into a play for sure with some different people on there. But all right, so then we're moving on. And speaking of the Miami Dolphins, we have the Offensive Player of the Year, and that's where I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill on that one because I think that he has a potential to be MVP. But this award is kind of more designed so that people don't say that it's just going to the QB all the time. So I'm taking Tyreek Hill. I think that he is just ultra important to what the team does, and he's arguably probably the best wide receiver in the league. And just, he's a big play waiting to happen every single time he touches the ball. So I think he truly defines what the Offensive Player of the Year should be. BC, what you got?
I mean, you basically hit the nail on the head. That was my pick as well for Offensive Player of the Year. I think, between him and McCaffrey last year was a close race. And McCaffrey won it out. He's got the Madden cover this year. So I just think that all of those things considered, I think that maybe he takes a slight foot off the gas a little bit. And I think that that's going to enable Tyreek. I think that, and then potentially if Miami does use him on special teams, that's another aspect that I know it's Offensive Player of the Year, but like, come on, like everybody's going to be thinking, oh, special teams in addition to that. So I think that's one thing that McCaffrey doesn't have in his favor. So I think that if you're looking for anything to kind of break that edge, I would say, the special teams factor, the fact that McCaffrey's already won it, so he might take his foot off the gas a little bit. I think that that's going to be what puts Tyreek over the top in this award.
That's gonna be an interesting pick too. That's why I picked him as well, just because the same aspect of like what Christian McCaffrey did last year. It was truly like an offensive player. So, G Mike, you're up, my man. What you got?
Yeah, I think McCaffrey should have won it last year. I think he should have won an NFL MVP last year, and I think he should have won Offensive Player of the Year award last year. But
that was my vote for MVP as well. Was McCaffrey?
Yeah, it was a weak year last year for quarterbacks overall.
It's the same thing every year, really. But yeah, I think McCaffrey's going to take a step back. I think he already got that injury bug before the season started, so I don't think he's going to play a full season. And I think Tyreek will probably play a full season. If anything, miss 1 or 2 games. I feel like McCaffrey will maybe miss like 4 or 5 games due to health. But yeah, McCaffrey is always a great pick, but I'll go with Tyreek just because I would pick him for MVP. So why not pick him for Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, that's always kind of scary whenever you have all three of us picking the same player. So although the last time we did it, Alessandro did lose. So we all did 3 pick Alessandro to lose on that one. So
yeah,
a little bit of a tooting your horn on that one, I guess.
Can't always be right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of easy sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, but you can't always be right because if not, I would be a millionaire right now with sports gambling. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean,
anyways, we're on to the defensive player of the year, and I'm going to go with the same gentleman that won last year. I'm going back with Myles Garrett again. I think Myles Garrett is just an absolute game wrecker and one of the greatest defensive players in the last decade or so. He is just an absolute force to deal with, and I think that he's going to continue on his dominance for the defense. BC, who's your defensive player of the year?
I mean, you thought my pick from Holmes was a safe pick. I mean, good. I mean, he is a specimen, not to take anything away from him. But if I had to pick somebody that is going to win defensive player of the year, I'm going to go out of the box for this one. And I'm going to go with the guy that I think should have been getting a lot more recognition last year for the award. And I think this year, just signed a big contract. I think he's going to be now even extra motivated, not just to prove that he deserves that money, but also that he deserves to be, once again, an all-pro. He deserves to get the Pro Bowl that he was snubbed from last year, and he deserves more Defensive Player of the Year votes than he got. And that's going to be Antoine Winfield Jr. from the Bucs. I know, I know, it's a big thing. Like, oh, it's a homer pick. He's going up. But honestly, I think that everything that he does, though, the versatility he has on that field, it's incredible. The fact that he is one of the most surefire tacklers in the league. He's probably the best pass rushing defensive back in the league. He's also got great hands. He's got great instincts for the ball. He filled up the stat sheet last year on a Tampa defense that relied so much on him. And I think this year what will help him is that I think this Bucs defense is going to take steps into that top 10, maybe even top 5 category with the offense, or with the additions they made in the off season, getting Jordan Whitehead in, all the defensive players they drafted. I think that this year the defense is going to be better. By proxy, that's going to put more eyeballs on the defense. And I think that his stat sheet stuffing ways are going to continue. And I think that all of those things combined are going to be what puts him over the top this year. It's a long shot, I think, by a lot of standards, and he's probably the smallest guy that would be in the race, but I got to give props to him. He's, I think, the best defensive back in the league, and I think he's going to show that this year, and I think he's going to bring the Bucs another DPOY. That's
definitely an interesting pick. That one is definitely the only thing you'll hear on Views from the Stands pick, I feel like. But go with your gut, man. I went with the safe pick and Garrett. But, yeah, that's definitely a good pick there, too. G, Mike, you're up, my man. Defensive Player of the Year. Who you got?
Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I wanna be biased and go Michael Parsons. But the way that our defensive line is looking, man, he's going to be having to do so much. He's going to get double-teamed a lot. So I don't really think he's going to have a good year, no doubt. He's going to be a Pro Bowler. But the thing is that he's going to have a lot of stops on him with the doubling and all this. Like, he's going to have to pick up a lot for the defense. So it's going to be hard for him to actually get that award. So I'm going to go with someone who's going to have a great defensive line next to him and a pretty good defense all around when it comes to linebackers and secondary. And I'm going to pick Max Crosby, bro, because bringing in Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins is going to help him out. They're going to probably double team him a lot. So there's going to be a lot of one-on-ones with Max Crosby unless they put a tight end in the left tackle or right tackle, whatever the case may be. But I think he's going to do work, man. I think he's going to do a lot of work. And it sucks when you're in a division with one of the best quarterbacks in the league and Patrick Mahomes. He really doesn't take a lot of sacks and his offensive line is very good. But I still think that Max Crosby is going to do a lot of work and he'll probably take that award this year.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good pick in there. Micah Parsons definitely has every opportunity to get that award. He's been one of the best defensive players coming, and there's just a lot that's going on with Micah Parsons over there in Dallas as well. So that's definitely a good pick for sure. So now we are on to the next one, which is the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. of the Arizona Cardinals. And I know that probably sounds like more of like a safe pick as well, but I really do believe that this kid has every bit of any gift that you need to be a top end wide receiver in the league. He is set up. He's got the size. He is the number one receiver there, and he's a rookie and just getting started. So I believe Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have a great year in Arizona. He's almost a perfect pick that, as long as he stays healthy, cannot fail. Yeah. BC, and before I jump to my boy BC, I have to shout out my boy David Ard, Body's Fitness down there. He knew that he was going to try and get some Kyle Trask talk in there, and as a Bucs fan, BC, can you just help this man out a little bit? He still believes that Kyle Trask is going to get his chance. It's a diehard Gators fan, so I think that's more of what it is, man.
I mean, hey, I definitely respect it. You know, like I said, anytime, I gotta rep the Bulls, I do it. You gotta represent your teams. No, Trask, I think is definitely proven that he does belong in this league. Like he belongs on this Bucks roster. Right now, again, it's Baker's team. He's the guy, he's the man, but I think that Trask has proven that he's a quality backup. He's matured a lot. I think in his time over in Tampa, especially learning from Tom Brady. Do I think that he, if you give him the keys to this offense, he's going to have a better season than Baker? No, just based on what I've seen when he has been given. But he's still proven himself to be a quality backup, and that's a fine job to have. Like there's only 32 people on the planet that are starting quarterbacks, and I'll be honest. Like I would love to be a backup NFL quarterback. You're telling me I don't have to take any hits. I don't have to worry about having the pressure of the franchise on my shoulders. I just have to hold a clipboard, learn from different players, and just kind of enjoy the ride. And if I need it, I just go in for a few games. Like that's a dream right there. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's definitely be the life there, you'd think. But all right, so what's going to be your offensive rookie of the year?
So I am going to go with Caleb Williams from Chicago, mostly just because he's in a great situation there with the offense. Obviously, the trio of wide receivers that he's got to throw to is any rookie quarterback's dream. I honestly can't think of much of a better situation to be in as a rookie quarterback than that. And again, I know that there's going to be, I think, other guys that might be relied on a lot, like you said, with Marvin Harrison. But I just feel like this is too much of a story. And he's also the number 1 overall pick. So I feel like the story narratives that he has, the pressure he has, all the eyeballs on him, and the fact that he has such a great situation going into his rookie year, I think this award is just basically set up for him. It's his for the taking, and it's his to lose.
Yeah, and is it just me or that just this year feels like the rookies coming in this year? I just feel like they're really going to be some very impactful guys for a long time to come. I mean, that offensive rookie of the year, you can go Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Caleb Williams. Bo Nix is actually looking a lot better than people thought. There's a lot of just impactful rookies, I think, this year. So it's going to be a very, very interesting year.
The only thing that sets me about this award is that you can't give it to offensive linemen. Because if it was, I would have picked my boy Graham Barton from the Bucks, man. Center out of Duke.
Go up.
Now, that's a dude that is a stud. He has looked fantastic in the run game and in pass protection in the preseason. I know preseason, but he has looked good so far. Anybody that said that he wasn't going to transition from tackle to center, eat your words, man. That dude's going to be a multi-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro, you name it, man. Graham Barton.
Woo! All right, G Mike, you're up, man. Your offensive rookie of the year. What you got?
I was definitely going to pick Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that he's just crazy generational wide receiver. But I'll go with someone else, and I'll pick Bo Nix, man, because I like the way that he was playing in the preseason, bro. Even though before I was talking a little smack about him and didn't think he was going to do as good and this and that, but I like the way that he played in the preseason. Very confident, very poised. Obviously, Sean Payton likes him. He's starting him in week 1. I think he's going to do a pretty damn good, man. Yeah, maybe not have a spectacular season, but if I'm not picking Marvin Harrison Jr., I'll pick Bo Nix.
Yeah, that one's probably going to be an underdog pick in there, but Bo Nix has every opportunity. It's just in a tough division. They have a lot of competition out there, so that one's going to be kind of tough for him to make the team a lot better. But I think he is going to have a good season, which leads us to the next award. We got our defensive rookie of the year, and this one is where I'm going to be the homer pick. I'm going to take Latua out of Indianapolis. If you guys have watched any of the preseason with this guy's just an absolute game wrecker. He's a pass rushing machine, and him and DeForest Buckner, it's going to be a very, very hard force feed to anybody at the stop in the league. So I'm really excited to see what this kid can do. I'm really surprised that he fell as far as he did. Considering that the Falcons needed pass rushing and they didn't take him, they could have had him there. There was a lot of teams that could have used him, and I think that he's going to come back and make everybody remember that they should have took him from the start. Yeah. So, BC, my man, you're up. What you got? What's your defensive rookie of the year?
Dude, second verse, same as the first, man. I'm agreeing with you. Leatu Latu. Like, I gotta rock with him, man. Like, he was the best defensive prospect in this draft. I'm surprised that he slid as far as he did. I thought the Falcons, if they were smart, would have picked him up. But he slid to your Colts, so he's out of our division, so that's fantastic. I hope he balls out this year and has an incredible season, obviously. His skill, like his combination of size, athleticism, and skill all together are just such a unique combination. The only thing that worries me about him, and it worries, I think, every scout, going into the draft, was his neck issues, his injury history. But I think that he seems to have worked those issues out, and he's looked really good in preseason so far. So I think that as long as he stays healthy, I don't think that there's any other. I think he is basically the cream of the crop. He's like the A level and everybody, or A plus level, and everyone else is like an A minus to a B plus in terms of impact that he can make. He's just that, I think, special of a defensive player. And like you said, he's got DeForest Buckner on his squad to help kind of relieve some of that pass blocking, like put him in more one-on-one situations. So I feel like he's in a really great situation as well defensively to really make an impact.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. The neck issue was kind of scary. That was one of the reasons he fell a little bit. But yeah, I was definitely kind of nervous about that one too. G Mike, my man, you are up with your defensive player of the year for rookies.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna pick Dallas Turner out of Florida State, playing for the Minnesota Vikings. I think he's a great fit for what they need. A edge rusher right there. He's crazy, athletic, fast, massive size for his frame, length. He could get to the pocket quick. And very agile too. Swift moves off of the offensive lineman. So I think he's gonna help out that defense tremendously. And he's probably gonna be starting, I think, every game really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. I haven't heard too many people really talking about him too much, but it's definitely going to be a very good pick out there as well. I like that one. That's a good pick. That's definitely not one that's a popular one for sure. But yeah. All right, and so the last one for the awards, we skipped over comeback player of the year because obviously we haven't really got a chance to get to that point yet, and also assistant coach of the year. Yeah. We're just going to move on to head coach of the year, and I'm going to go with who I thought should have won it last year. Although Kevin Stefanski did a hell of a job, I'm going to go with DeMeco Ryans of the Houston Texans. I felt like he should have had it last year. I love what the Texans are doing and building, and as soon as he came in there, he turned that team around. They were expected to be one of the worst teams in the league, if not historically, and he turned them around right away. And I think they're only going to get better. It's tough for me to say because they are in my division with the Colts. But I really do like his style. He seems like a player's coach, but also a no-nonsense coach. So I think he walks that perfect line of getting respect from the players, but also having the players on his side. So I'm going to go with DeMeco Ryans as this one here for my coach of the year. BC, what you got?
I'm going to go a different route. A guy who I thought should have won it last year. I think a guy that to me is probably the best motivational coach in the entire NFL, and that's Dan Campbell from Detroit. I think the story, like when he first got there, the slow build that or not necessarily slow, but like he's built this team over the past few seasons. And I think he's just done a great job, not really just through a lot of splash signings or a lot of big moves, but he has a system, he has a scheme, he has basically a culture and a mentality in Detroit where they play together, and he really is the center of that team. Like, I don't think if you take a different coach, that's a similar quality. Like, I don't know if they do as well just because he brings everybody together so well. He's such a very unity kind of guy. And I think that to me, that's just something that puts him over the top as a head coach.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, he wasn't even up for coach of the year last year. No, right? That one surprised the hell out of me with the success that Detroit had. And that guy being, part of that big rebuild. I'm honestly surprised he didn't get it. If he wasn't even nominated, I don't think he was even nominated, which is kind of crazy to me.
I don't think so either. And don't get me wrong, like Detroit has a lot of. They're not playing with nobodies up in Detroit. You have a great team around you. You got a great defense, young players as well. You've got a great offense that's got some of the best young running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight ends in the league. But I think that Dan Campbell just does a great job of unifying everybody together and really getting everyone to maximize their potential to the fullest degree. And I think that's what, as a head coach, you need to do.
Yeah, when he came out and started out his coaching press conference with, we're going to be eating kneecaps. This guy. This guy's nothing. It's going down, man. All right, G Mike, this is the last one for the awards. Who you got for your coach of the year?
With Dan Campbell, bro, I think it had to do with politics. I think it had to do with politics. Detroit is always in the bottom of the pack of everything. So them surprisingly getting to the NFC Championship was crazy surprise to a lot of people. 20 years without winning a division, it's like, dude. So I feel like they just didn't want to give it to him in politics standpoint. But before I go with mine, let's read this comment here from Steve's boy talking about Kyle Trask again. He needs to really start, see what he can do. He has not had the opportunity. Not wishing Mayfield to get hurt, but damn, I know Trask can be a quality starter in the NFL. I feel like he got robbed when Brady left. Man, honestly, I get what you're saying, but there must be something going on the field during practice, behind the scenes, his off-field stuff that just shows that Baker is just better for the job than he is.
Yeah.
Maybe what I really think Baker is really known for, and I've heard this on several podcasts from several of his old teammates and stuff, he's a great leader and a great motivator.
Yep.
So if your starting quarterback is that person that be like, yo, you got this. We're doing everything right. We're going to go out there and win. Yo, we're losing right now. It don't matter. We're going to come back and win.
Yep.
If he's getting everybody hyped in the locker room and on the field and even off the field, being a great person and a great teammate, dude, you're going to want that guy to lead your team. Maybe Kyle Trask is better than him, but if he's not a leader, you don't want him at the forefront.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think that Trask has really gotten a whole lot of time to shine as far as like during the regular season. Could he vary? I think maybe he could get his shot, maybe in free agency, like when his contract gets up. You know, if he wants to go out there and prove himself, you can't fault him for wanting to do that. I think every quarterback, I think everybody deserves at least one shot to prove that they could be a starting quarterback. And if they fail, then they fail. But I think everybody deserves at least one chance to prove themselves. With Baker, I do agree that he definitely has that leadership, that dog in him. Like we talk about it all the time. Like they got to have that dog. And he is the kind of guy that he's going to put his body on the line. He's going to take chances. He's not going to. You could be down by 2-3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. He's still going to go out there and compete. He's still going to try to bring everybody together. And that's what guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rashad White, Kate Otten, they all love him and they're willing to go to war with him because he puts everything in him on the line. And I think that Trask. I think that he needs to learn a little bit more of that. I think he needs to develop more of that trait. He's got all the physical tools. He's got a good arm. He's got great size, 6'4", 220, 230. He's just, I think, got to keep working more on the mental skills and ability. And that might just come from getting experience as a starting quarterback. And I think maybe for him to succeed, he might need to go to another team. I wouldn't like that because, I like having another great quarterback behind Baker, but, everybody's got their own choices in life and career paths that they want to do. So,
yeah, I totally agree too. I don't think that Trask is bad. That he is not a number one draft pick. I can tell you that. But having said that, I think that he just needs to go to another team. I think that he thought he was going to probably become the starter in once Brady was done, but then they ended up signing Baker Mayfield. I don't think his team is going to be them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep. Hey,
Again,
you got to represent your squad.
As a backstory, the reason I said he's not a number one pick is because Dave and I went back and forth for almost a year and a half that he's a number one pick, and I'm like, no, he's not. He's just not a number one pick. Yeah. So I had to throw that out there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking in with us, Dave.
Yeah, man. I hope he gets.
So with Kyle Trask, though, honestly, I feel like that his future is going to be with somebody else, and I think that he should really take this year, stay healthy, stay in shape. Hopefully, nothing happens to Baker Mayfield, but I do think that he's going to be somewhere else next. And hell, the Raiders need a quarterback. There's plenty of teams that could use a quarterback, and I don't think it's Kyle Trask's problem. I think it's more of Baker Mayfield fits a little bit more what they're doing. I don't think Kyle Trask is garbage or garbage at all, but I just think that that's more of the problem is that he's in a bad situation for him because Baker Mayfield just got the contract and it's just not going to happen. I don't think in Tampa. You never know what can happen. Baker Mayfield, they did lose their OC, like you were saying before, and Baker Mayfield looked way better with that OC. So we'll see if maybe something changes with the new OC that they have coming in now.
I will say in their preseason game on Friday, though, he and the offense looked crisp on that opening drive. I know it's just one drive, but considering the fact that they struggled, the entire season last year scored on the opening drive. To me, that's a positive sign. So
that's a positive sign.
But yeah, but I will say maybe a fun one we can debate next week is top 5 landing spots for Kyle Trask next year.
There we go. I know we'll have one.
I only have
one viewer for sure.
On it, man. David's gonna have it all lined up and everything. The roadmap for this. Let's do it.
I'm gonna tell him just email me. I'll just use what you say.
There we go. Exactly. Gee, Mike, you never really got a chance to say. You can wrap it up if you want, man. Who's your coach of the year?
I'll say Mike McDaniel, Brent. I think the Dolphins have had the last 2 seasons robbed with the divisional champs by the Buffalo Bills. But this year, I think Buffalo has degraded a lot in offense. And I think they're going to have to, just like how you alluded to earlier with your NFL MVP, I think Josh Allen has to put that team on his back. I just don't know if he will like that. I just don't know if he will. I think there's going to be a lot of interceptions that he's going to throw, just like he did last season. And, you can't really fault him because he's an aggressive guy and confident guy. So you're going to love that in your quarterback. So all power to him, man. They keep playing like that. But I really think the Dolphins are going to – third time's a charm. They're going to take the division this year. And I think they'll maybe only lose like 3 or 4 games, man. I think Mike McDaniel might secure that head coach award for sure.
Yeah, that was actually gonna be my pick as well. I just like what D'Amico Ryans is doing, but that's definitely a very good pick with the Dolphins. I totally agree with you on that one. All right, so we are going to keep this NFL talk moving, and now that we're done with we're actually going to go back over our divisions, more of a rapid fire style. For the past few weeks, we have been breaking down each one of the teams in the division. So if you want to find out our thoughts on each one of the teams, you can go back on our YouTube page and definitely get some good insight on what we thought for the other teams. So we're just going to go ahead and go with this one. We'll start with the AFC East. G Mike, I think you just let us know, but go ahead and say it again. Who you got winning the AFC
sir.
East?
Miami Dolphins think third time's a charm, and they're going to take it this time.
BC, what you got?
Same thing, man. Miami Dolphins. They're going to be, again, there's going to be their year for the AFC East. It's kind of boring, but, safe picks. Got to make them.
I agree. I'm also taking the Miami Dolphins to win the AFC East. All right, so next up we're going to stick with the AFC first. So next up we have the AFC North. I'm going to go try the worst to first. I did not realize that the Cincinnati Bengals were the worst team in that division last year, which is a surprise to me, but it makes sense just because Burrow got hurt. So I'm going the worst to first. I'm going Cincinnati to take the AFC North. G Mike, what you got? AFC North.
Baltimore Ravens. They bring in Derrick Henry. They're going to make the running game even that much stronger. They did lose Patrick Queen, a good linebacker, but their linebacker core is always good. That secondary is amazing. So that defense and offense is going to make work, and Baltimore Ravens win that division.
All right. BC, AFC North.
I'm agreeing with George on this one, man. All the additions they made in the offseason, getting King Henry, I think they're going to reign supreme up north. I think an even more fun game for anybody at home to play would be like drink for every time like we actually disagree on a division winner, because I feel like we're going to be pretty similar with our
take a shot for me.
Yeah, so they got to go with the Ravens up north.
All right, BC, we'll go ahead and keep it on you on this one. AFC South, who you got?
I do not have your Indianapolis Colts. I got the Houston Texans running it back again this year. Just Stroud and them running things down south in Houston, Texas.
Yep. Same here. And then adding Stephon Diggs to that offense and Joe Mixon. Ooh, yes. Man, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is.
All right, we'll get them shot glasses ready because we're disagreeing on this one. I am going AFC South. The Colts are going to take the AFC South.
Are you being biased, or you really think they're going to take it?
I'm being a little bit of both. I am being a homer. That's my team. But no, I really do believe that they can. It's really just going to come down to Anthony Richardson. If you looked at what they looked like the first that last preseason game, that first drive he missed one pass, got a touchdown, and then the next drive came back, threw in a bonehead interception, and cost a pick six. So Anthony Richardson is really just going to have to make that step up. I really did not know how many games he actually has played in his entire basically football career. It's about 20, including high school and college. So the kid just needs to learn. I really did not know that he's only played, I think, 6 high school games and was that good enough to get a scholarship from UF. So I really just need him to step up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The Florida standing is real here, man.
Dude, man. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So
look, it's all about this though.
Yeah. No, I think you
that's weird. It says the swamp back here. It does it not. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but
you put it in the wrong direction.
I was about to say, I used to be doing this all the time for USF, and it's like, no, you gotta like bring it in, like horns up,
more like that, I guess.
Oh, so you're a UT guy? Yeah,
no, well, that's the thing. Like, I always thought you go like this, but some of my friends were like, no, you gotta like bring it in because like if you go wide, it's Longhorns, but then it's like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I was like, wrong this whole time, man. Come on.
All right, well, we got the AFC West. BC, what you got, man?
I think we all got the same here.
Yeah. I'll sum up our picks in one word. Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. I do think the Chargers are going to give them some challenge, though. I think the Chargers are going to be a much improved team this year, man. I really do believe that.
Nope.
I don't know. I like what they're gonna. I think they're gonna be a lot more improved. I think Harbaugh
is catching the ball.
This has been Steve's sarcastic comment for the week.
Yeah, no, I'm being dead serious. I think the Chargers are going to give them a little bit of heat. Actually, I don't think they're. I mean, honestly, in the division, the
Yeah, when
Chargers
they go
and
to
the
LA,
Chiefs have gone
they're
back and
gonna get
forth.
that heat. They're gonna get that heat in LA. That's what they're gonna get. That sun. That
They missed
sun.
the
But
dub.
anything else, they ain't getting.
They'll
They ain't
get
getting
the
nothing.
dub, but they got the heat.
All
They
right,
ain't
so now
getting no
we're
one's catching the ball there. But yo, just sign me, dude. I'll do a one game. and
Yo,
I'll,
sign all of us, man. I need some money, man.
dude,
I got
I'll
debts.
play slot. I won't be as fast, but I'll catch the ball.
Oh.
So now we're on to the NFC North, man. D Mike, what you got, my man? NFC North. That's gonna be a fun one.
NFC North, man. I was kind of on the fence about this between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. The only reason I'm going to go with the Lions is because I think their offense is going to be a little bit better because of their offensive line. Their running game is going to be good, and their passing game is going to be good. The only thing I don't like about the Lions is their secondary. So I think that's where the Packers could take it over. But I think it's going to be tied to the end. I think it's going to go down to week 18, and then one of them is just going to come out. Hopefully they play each other week 18. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, Penei Sewell did go down not too long, sometime last week too. So that's gonna be a big factor for the Lions. But all right, BC, you're up. NFC North, man.
I think even in spite of the injury to Sewell, I still got the Lions winning it. I just think that, again, the way they've been progressing as a team and as a unit this year or these past few seasons, I think that this is just going to be the next step in their evolution, and I think they're going to just continue running the North for the time being.
I am going to go with the Cheeseheads and go with the Green Bay Packers. I know this is going to be definitely a tough division. The Lions look great. The Bears look much improved. The Vikings are really injured, so I don't really think they're going to have too much going on with them. But I do think it's going to be a fun division to watch. It's going to be cool to see what Caleb Williams does with what they got. But I'm sticking with the Green Bay in this one and going with the Packers to win this one. All right, BC. So now we got the NFC South. I'm going to take a wild guess who you're picking in this one.
Yeah, go. You know what? I instead of I'll save my pick for the end. Let's let you guys guess.
All right, G Mike, you're up there, my man. Who you got for the NFC South?
I got the Atlanta Falcons, man. That offense is going to be super overpowered. That defense just got incredibly better in the last 3 weeks. I think they're going to be a good fit all around, and they're going to take the NFC South championship.
I'm going to speak for BC and I, and we are both taking the Bucks. We're going to go Tampa Bay Bucks in this one. BC, you got anything to add on that one?
Actually, I was thinking the Carolina. Heck no, I'm taking the Bucks. Yes,
Carolina.
I was like, heck no, man. Yeah, no.
I got Carolina to get number 1 pick again.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only thing of note they're doing this year. But no, we've been running this division the last 3 years. It ain't going to change. We're going to wash, rinse, and repeat. We're taking this division for the 4th year in a row. We're doing it, man. And then on top of that, we're going to be taking we're going to be getting 10 wins this year. I don't know. We'll save that last spoiler maybe for the end of the show, but that's what I got right now for us.
All right, BC. So now we're up to the last part of the NFC. We are at the NFC West. What's your pick?
We got 2 more to go. We got East and West.
Yes. Forgive me. I got the East. So you're up now. Sorry about that. I forgot about the East. Which is a big forget there too, because they got some good teams in there too. So I do apologize on that one. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that. NFC East, who you got?
You got 3 good teams and one that's just been living off the past since the 90s. So like,
dude.
No. Real talk though. In this one though, I got the Eagles, especially with the move that they recently made. The trade that they made recently. I think that's my pick didn't really change much from last year going into this year, but I think that the recent moves that they've been making have been what solidified them going into this year.
Yeah, and if you're not aware, right now the Eagles just made a trade with the Commanders, which is kind of surprising for in division trades. The Eagles just got Jahan Dotson for pretty much a hot dog and a pack of nachos or something, man, because they gave him like a 3rd round pick and 2 7ths and got a legitimately good wide receiver. We were just talking about it before. You two had the wide receiver core in your top 5. We just did a top 5 about 2 weeks ago. Best wide receiver cores in the league, and you guys both have them in there. And I think this definitely solidifies them as one of the top wide receiver cores. You got Brown, you got Dotson, you got Smith, Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Dallas Goedert is still pretty damn good. I'm picking the Eagles. G Mike, what you got, man?
Yeah, this is what we call in fantasy trade rape. of what the Washington Commanders did with the Philadelphia Eagles,
Brutal.
giving away Jahan Dotson like that. It's just very disappointing as a Cowboys fan, just seeing the Eagles get that much better. And I know my boy Logan is gonna watch this and he's gonna be laughing at me. But definitely, I got to pick the Eagles, man. They're just a great team all around. The additions that they had in the offseason, just last week trading for Jahan Dotson, like they're gonna be a good team, man. And I wish I could say the Cowboys, but there's too much questionability there.
Yeah, and I have to give the Eagles another shout out as well. And is I love the
Good,
GM
good,
out
good,
there,
good,
man.
good.
They don't wait around for anything. If they see an opportunity, they make the move, and they always are trying to improve. They're never stagnant. The Eagles make trades. The Eagles make moves all the time. So I definitely got to give a shout out to their Roseman, and he was a Gator, so we got to go with that as well. So we're down to the last division now. Officially, my fault on that one. And we are down to the NFC West. And this division, I think, is going to be probably one of the most fun divisions to watch in the league this year. I think each one of the teams have improved drastically. Arizona has gotten a lot better now that Kyler's healthy. You got Trey McBride coming into his own. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. Going into his rookie year and already number one. Michael Wilson is a pretty damn good number two. James Conner is still kicking and still moving. So, and Trey Benson was a good pickup as well. I think Arizona's been great. You can't ever shout out or forget about the Rams. If Stafford can stay healthy, they're right there with everybody as well. Seattle's got a great offense, I think, coming in now. I think with the new coaching changes, but I think it still runs through San Francisco. So I'm picking the Niners, but I do think this division is going to be only decided by one or two games. G Mike, what you got?
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to do pretty good this year too. I hope that I'm a big time Matthew Stafford fan, so I hope his healthiness stays there. Cooper Kupp is coming back, so he's going to have Coop. He's going to have Puka Nakua. Karen Williams is going to be a good fit for them as well. Obviously, he did good last season, so I think the Rams are going to be there. But I'm still going to go with the Niners, man. That team is still 2-star studded. They're great at running the ball. Their defense is immaculate. And if they keep Brandon Ayuk, it's just going to be even much better. If they lose him, yeah, it's going to hurt them. They'll probably lose like 2-3 or more games, but I still think that they take this division.
All right, BC, what you got?
Bang, bang Niner game, man. It runs through San Francisco, like you said. Again, not to take a dump on any of the other teams. I do agree this is probably going to be one of the more fun and competitive divisions, but it still runs through San Francisco. And regardless of all the problems and the issues that they might be having right now with Brandon Ayuk, they're still a well-oiled machine. They're still a great team, and it's going to be their division to lose.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. All right, boys. Well, we are down to the big moment of truth that everybody's been waiting for in this one. So I'm going to have G Mike. I want to hear your Super Bowl pick. Who's your Super Bowl teams that you got?
Well, I'll start off by saying NFL's NFC Championship. I think it's going to be the Eagles against the Niners. I think the Niners win that. The AFC Championship, I think it will be the Ravens against the Chiefs, and I think this year they will win that. So the Super Bowl will be the Niners against the Ravens, and I think it's just going to be Lamar Jackson's year, and they're going to actually get a belt under him. Woo, damn, boy.
Yeah, you've really been high on the Ravens. I'll give you credit for that. You've been sticking with them. That's not been a new thing. You've been really high on the Ravens, so that'll be an interesting, great Super Bowl and a fun watch. All right, BC, you're up, my man. Moment of truth. Who you got?
So for my Super Bowl matchup this year, I'm going to play it a little different than most. I know that the obvious pick for the NFC is going to be the Niners, but I think that even in spite of some of the injuries they're facing right now, I feel like Detroit's going to do everything they can to get healthy, stay healthy. And I think that they're going to go on an even more magical run than last year, again, especially just with how they're playing together and they've got Coach Campbell. I think that it's a team that makes a run late in the season, goes to the Super Bowl, and they go to face off against the Kansas City Chiefs again, the Chiefs go play in the Super Bowl again. It's going to be a new matchup. It's going to be a fun one, underdog versus the biggest Goliath. But I think in this one, we're going to see something that's never been done in pro football history. I'm going to go with it might be quote unquote the safe pick, but this is history being made. So it's something that, is it ever really safe? I got the Chiefs 3-peating, first team to ever do it. And I think Mahomes has got the MVP. It's going to win the Super Bowl, going to win Super Bowl MVP, and I think that that's going to really help elevate him and put him on that same level as Tom Brady.
Whoa. I think he's already there. He's already there.
I'm just saying, if he's not there, if he wasn't there now,
I think he's there right now. Right now, he's there.
I know, but for anybody out there that doesn't think that like he is on that level, he's going to be there after this year.
No, I know Steve doesn't think so. That's why I had to say it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, so I guess that leaves it up to me now. So for my AFC pick, I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins going to the Super Bowl this year. I think that the Miami Dolphins are going to win the division, and that's what I've been saying for the last few years, is that if they can be able to host games at home, they're going to play in that Florida sun, and that is going to be at their advantage. Tua plays completely different, and so does that offense when they are at home. They're damn near unbeatable at home, so I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins this year to finally host some playoff games at home, and they're going to take that step up. For the NFC, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I really like what the Packers have done. I love the Josh Jacobs signing. I think that now that Jordan Love got paid, I think that he's going to have a massive weight lifted off his shoulders. He finally is the guy and doesn't have to worry about it anymore. The defense needs to help them out a little bit better, but I think that they're offensively enough going to be able to hang with damn near any team. And so I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers versus the Miami Dolphins in a major shootout, but I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl this year over the Miami Dolphins in a very close game. But I will not be surprised that the Dolphins won, but I'm going to take Green Bay in this one. Man, it's so early to pick, and we definitely have a
way too early.
I mean, hey,
that's why I'm presenting this as the way too early picks. But I think it's going to be an awesome season, and we're super excited about it. You got any closing remarks for your Super Bowl picks or anything, G-Mike?
Man, I'm just excited for the season. We're 2 weeks away from most NFL teams week one. But real quick, just wanted to ask you guys, so the AFC Championship rematch will be week one against the Chiefs against the Ravens. Yeah. Who do you guys got in that game? Just week one.
I'm going Kansas City.
I'm going to say Kansas City, too. It's where that defense is right now. I think that it's going to be close. I think they probably goes down to the field goals, and I think that's going to be even more fun battle. An underrated battle is Justin Tucker versus Harrison Butker. It's going to be great.
I got the Ravens because I think the Chiefs, they start off slow, man. They start their season off slow. They like to do what the last few years of the Tom Brady Patriots. They like to start off the season chilling like if it was preseason. And then when November, December, January hits, they're full off and running. And I think that's how the Kansas City Chiefs are. I think Andy Reid took that page out of Bill Belichick's playbook, and he's like, chill, relax, don't worry, we'll get there. You know what I'm saying?
Smart strategy.
Yeah, BC, you got any closing ideas for before the season starts? Anything you want to bring up?
I'm just glad football's back. I'm glad that Bucs football's back. Like this is going to be, I think, a great year. And if even again, if your team isn't doing so well, it hasn't been doing well the last few years, just know that it can't get much worse than 0-26. It also can't get much worse than over a decade of missing the playoffs like we did. So like, hey, there's always a glimmer of hope. Like don't be so down in the dumps. Even if your team's not doing great this year, there's always going to be next year. Just keep rooting for them, keep sticking with them. You'll eventually get through those dark times, and you're going to see the light, and it's going to be everything you wanted, and then some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree totally. So I'll speak for myself, I guess, in this one, and I'll speak for the boys as well. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done for us. Tuning in, watching, and commenting. This has been a lot of fun for us, and it's something we've always wanted to do. We're going to continue making live shows, so please spread the word for us. If you want to get more content out there, obviously the way to get a hold of us is on here, is in the chats. We're going to try to get as many people as we could on there talking. So that was a lot of fun. So we really appreciate people tuning in. For G Mike, for BC, for myself, we thank you very much, and we can't wait for the season. So we're going to call this one a night, and we will see you guys next week. Hopefully we're adding more shows, maybe two shows a week if we're going to try and work on it. But be on the lookout because we're only getting started.
Yeah, and next thing you know, for the live shows, that if you're writing in the comments and you just want to join up, or maybe give you a 2-minute to 5-minute window to come in and say your stuff on camera, do that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, if you got any fun ideas for stuff, whether it's like our debates, or if you guys are like, hey, this is something that I really like talking about, this is like a sport or something like that I want to cover that maybe doesn't get a lot of the coverage that you think it deserves, hit us up. Let us know. Like, we love talking about news and stuff, like bringing in some of the stuff that isn't always the most popular, the stuff that you're not just going to hear ESPN and all these other major networks continue to just churn out over and over and over again. You know, like, we like to cover all the bases here, not just the major popular ones.
We love the creativity too.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is going to do it up for us, and we will see you guys soon. Take it easy breezy, and we will talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
Yes, sir. Peace.